motivation. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your hostess with the Moses Marky Saint. This is my motivation every morning going live so everybody else can shine. You're on my morning walk, getting out into the field, getting out into the sun. I feel great sitting here inside of my quiet mornings like I do every morning. And yesterday was so Finley fantastic that I had to go live again this morning. I missed the day before that, just blanked it, and then did the show. And every day we're trying to get people, not trying, we are getting people to do their mental health regimens. You know, it's so important for us to get our minds right so that we can be right, so we can do right. And that's what we do around here at Saints Brand. We do right by other people's, we be better humans. And on that note, somebody cue the intro. Let's get it. Here my morning walk, and this morning's really feeling good. Yesterday I had one of the most... Another one? Dude, come on, man. I've been doing the plastic pocket challenge already this morning before I even get on film because I don't need to show my humanitarian efforts. But come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. All we gotta do is pick up after ourselves. How the hell are you gonna leave? Anyway, that's not what this show's about this morning. The show's not about complaining. And it's not about pot. What it is about trying harder. And, you know, for most folks, when it gets tough, when the going gets tough, the tough should get going. For most folks, they start quitting. And that's why we have to have this conversation this morning. I'm going to throw this away real quick. Pause. Don't quit. That's your morning marijuana motivation. I'm out. Pause, don't quit. You know what I mean? That's the thing I just told somebody. I went to my IT guy's spot. He's like, you came to my house? I was like, I told you I would, bro. I'm here working on my anger management skills instead of getting mad at something not being the way I want it to be or someone not doing what I want them to do. There was no force in my love for once in my life. Trash cans everywhere. There's no force in my love. I'm gonna start hashtagging plastic pocket challenge. Jeez, oh, dude. And part of that experience was I don't have people. Damn, dude, come on now. I don't have people in my life that want to give up, right? Like, it's easy to want to give up. We all know that. I was wanting to give up. After this abortion, I wanted to kill myself. Most people won't admit that. I couldn't find any joy in my life because of one event. Took away all the happiness from my business, took away all the happiness for my belief in people and love, and my whole philosophy got turned upside down, and something really horrific happened to me. Now, as I started to feel normal, yesterday I actually started feeling like my regular self. It dawned on me that when things get that intense, right? Suicidal thoughts, nobody wants to talk about it. But your life happens to you, right? Tragedy happens to us, it befalls us, right? I am fortune's foe. And in that time, my mind didn't have much of energy to fight something, right? Like normally I'm like fight, battle, motivate. Not this time. It wanted to quit. And if you have never been through real life, real death, real loss, real breakups, you're lying to yourself. There is so much that befalls the human character, storyline, and life that we don't even have any clue what's about to befall us. But what I do know is my attitude on a regular basis is to fight back. You can fight, flee, or freeze. There's 3 things, not just 2. But don't quit. The reason I'm saying that right now is not because of the tragedy of all your friends and all the more heartache that you'll bring to people, because my heart was broken. So therefore, I didn't want to live anymore. And it wasn't like I had a gun in my hand and I was crying and all this good stuff. It was just more of a, what's the point? And I know a lot of people do that. They'll get up the board. What am I fighting for? and you're fighting for a pause. You're fighting for the lull between the extremes. When you're all the way at the top of Mount Everest, you can't quit. There's nobody to come up there and save you. And for all of us that might want to be saved, we got to give ourselves the opportunity to be available for that. We need to be, in our own way, available for the peaks and valleys. This too shall pass, but when it's happening, it feels like it will always last. This perspective skews us, right? We talk about 80% of decisions being made by emotions. If you feel a certain way, you'll be moved away. And motion creates emotion. So you got to ask yourself, what emotion and motion can I put into my world to make it better? And the one I'm going to offer you is a really good advice, and it's making me my whole life to get to this. Pause. Don't quit. Pause over quits is what I posted this morning, because there's so much of it for all of us out there that we don't have a chance to give up on ourselves, that we get a chance to change the narrative because we stay in the game. One thing's for sure is the end of life means the end of the game. And every day that you get to wake up is a new chance to play the game. And you get a chance to play the game the same way you've been playing it, or you get a chance to pause for the cause. You get a chance to say, why am I doing the things that I am doing? Why am I letting this argument affect me? Why am I in this emotion or thought right now? That's a healthy brain. Getting a chance to examine your own emotions, to ask yourself, look, I know you're going through it, but do you believe that this will always be this way? It felt like that. That's what our emotions do. They catastrophize. They make things extreme. That's tough. When you're feeling a certain type of way, it will push us in a zone that normally we wouldn't go. Normally, I didn't have suicidal thoughts for the last 10 years. I was good. And then tragedy. Something befuddled me, and it made me feel like quitting. I know what it feels like. That's why I shared it this morning and been honest with it. I know what it's like when all the chips fall down. This fucking show's called Saints Addiction for a reason. I got my Saints brand shirt on now, but those dark days, they're true to all of us. People are lying if they say they never lost somebody, never felt like quitting, never had a dark day. But on these days, I tell you that the light shall shine through if you hold on to the patience, if you don't give up, and you allow yourself to process. Is there going to be a day that's really extreme and taxing? Yeah. Life. But the tough parts is the tough that get going. It was the toughest thing for me was having the presence of mind to actually step back and hit that pause button. And that's really difficult to do. I'm an intense person. I feel like the game's moving really fast and I got to move fast with it. That's what's up. But if I had paused and found patience before I got myself into trouble, before I said something that I didn't mean, and before I give up, then I still keep myself in the game, right? I still give myself the opportunity to heal. I call it reprieve for a reason. It's one of my bungalows around the world. We're building systems around the world for people to get a break from what's going on in their lives. It's not easy. You get out there and things come at you, and it seems to come all at us at once, right? People say it comes in threes. You best believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in the future, right? Because this too shall pass. And then 3, give yourself to believe in peace. It's so hard for us to get off our train of thought. We talk about it all week long. Thinking another thought, finding a healthier thought, stop ruminating. And that's what's going to have to be in our lives to be better people. We need to seek this light. and get space between the darkness. I know I'm going over 10 minutes here, but I want to explain something. Darkness is everywhere, of course, but so is the light, right? Like on the opposite side of this sun is darkness somewhere in some country right now. This is our balance. That's why I call it Saints Addiction. There's both good and bad. But I was so extreme, right? Like addicts are extreme. We get extremely moody or extremely emotional or take it to the extreme. And I had no pause button. I couldn't find it. That's why I said it took me my whole life to find this. It's like, wow, there was no, you have it on your DVD, DVR, PlayStation, fucking everything else has a pause button but you. Everything else has a reset button. But what do? We don't. We keep pushing ourselves further. Then our computers, then our battery lives. These things all got to get reset once in a while. They even get updates, but not us humans. When's the last time you had an update 2.0? When's the last time you got to pause for the cause and get a chance to reflect on your life? There's something that most of us, we hop into this element of the game of reactionary, right? I'm just going to react to everything, whatever comes my way, it's happening. But I find people that can control their reactions are higher level beings, where it doesn't matter what comes to them, they have a way of sorting it. They have a way of processing it. And that's what I'm trying to give you this morning. This way to process is called pause. It gives us enough time to not get triggered before we anger, explosion, reaction. But it also gives us a chance to, one, breathe. So important, we gotta breathe. But two, it offers that update. It gives us enough time to download the next software version of us. So you might be software 7.0, Microsoft Windows 7.0, but there's a 10 and it's inside you. You're a 10 if you get a chance to give yourself time to be that 10. If you're rapid firing, which most of us do, you know, we're on immediate impulse control situations. The thing I wanted most was control over my impulses. And this is something really hard for addicts because we're talking emotional impulses, we're talking about physical impulses. These things are rapid motherfucking fire. It's reactionary. We've been grown up in trauma. We don't know dad's coming in, starts hitting mom. That kind of stimulus gets us on a heightened fight, flight, freeze. And what I'm asking people and putting out there this morning, marijuana motivation, is to give themselves the opportunity for a new outcome. If you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's the definition of insanity. So the reactive person is going to get the same type of experience they've been getting their whole lives. But if you want to level up this morning, you're now 15 minutes to shine, hear me now. Give yourself a pause. My mom used to say it to me as a kid and it worked. He was like, Mark, pause. 1, 2, 3, breathe. Raise your awareness. And these things to get a hold of my mind when my mind had no holds. Some high level shit. And I know you know what I'm talking about. The moments when you're gambling, you're feeling it. Have you ever stopped it? Some high level shit. For most people here in Vegas, they have no impulse control. I told my friend the other day, there's very rare things that people give up their money freely, and gambling is one of them. It's like, here, take my time and money, the thing I work the hardest for and have little of. That's what we do with our impulse. We have to find a control knob for us. That was my aha moment. I didn't have an off button. Maybe one of those cords you can pull and say something funny, like the old Pee Wee Herman doll. That would be dope. So that's 15 minutes to shine. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, light.